Rand firming slightly from yesterday's worst levels when it went to 6.81 against the dollar, back around 6.75 this morning. And it looks like we had the euro firming a little bit against the dollar yesterday afternoon. So the Rand's movement's a little bit contrary to what we're seeing on the markets.
Yes, indeed. We saw the Rand drift weaker yesterday despite firmer commodity prices and higher global equity prices. We also saw the dollars stopped firming, which was not really conducive to Rand weakness. However, there were protests at Eskom's Medupi power plant construction site, which enticed Rand bears to keep selling dollars. And halting of construction at this site does bode ill for South Africa's need to ramp up electricity production and overall GDP growth prospects. We also saw the Rand failing to breach 6.55 in recent weeks, which is an indication really that we could possibly be seeing increased levels of forward covering by local importers, and not to mention the fact that the Rand's carry trade appeal could potentially diminish if the SARB delivers a very dovish policy statement towards the end of its MPC meeting tomorrow.
Well, what's your view on that? Because, of course, we all take it for granted that the repo rate is going to be kept steady at 5.5%. Do you think that the Reserve Bank could come out sounding a bit dovish? Because there have been some hawkish comments from, such as the Deputy Governor Daniel Manelli in recent weeks, talking about inflation and the risks there. What are you expecting at Standard Bank?
We're expecting the SARB to keep rates on hold at 5.5% this year, with only an increase in the rate in the first quarter of next year. We do expect that the SARB will take the inflationary risks into account, but they will also be cognizant of the fact that growth is not progressing at the levels that they possibly would like it to be. And last week we saw the unemployment rate also increased to 25% in the first quarter of this year. So it was a bit unexpected. So they will take into account that growth is not progressing at the levels that they previously envisaged.
Well, ahead of that MPC decision tomorrow afternoon, we also have manufacturing data coming out today. That's manufacturing numbers for March. We had 6% growth in the manufacturing sector in February. Do you think that's going to have continued through to March, the strong momentum that's built there?
We believe that the manufacturing production numbers will still post positive growth, although that number will probably ease to about 3.94% for March. That's basically on the back of the fact that it's probably likely to track the PMI numbers, which moderated in both March and April. So we're likely to see some kind of moderation during this month as well.
I'll look for the Rand at this point because we have seen the euro strengthening a little bit just on the prospects of a further aid package for Greece. Do you think with some of those factors yesterday out of the way, we could see the Rand firm up a little bit?
Indeed, we could see the Rand firm up a bit, but if we do see the production numbers come in slightly lower than expected, we could possibly see some further Rand weakness come through towards the end of the day.